get a deeper grasp on this. But
and that's actually a really good segue for us to get started on this, because the whole point of this workshop is, of course, metrics and test methods for effective human-robot interaction. But it's not necessarily just HRI, but it could also be HCI and human technology interaction, if you will. So I'm going to take a little bit of a breather right here so we can get started. It's actually good, I think, to kind of set the tone, because I do anticipate this workshop being a little bit organic in its distribution and how we actually run things. We do have a tentative schedule, as can be seen on your screens right now. Basically, welcome. We have a series of breaks that are built in today, mostly because, as we were discussing much earlier, is that after having so many online meetings, especially over the past year, thanks to the pandemic, we've learned that building in breaks and at least having somewhat of a fluid agenda is beneficial to everybody. But at the same time, we still have to remind people on some very basic things. Like, if you got a headset on, we do recommend that you wear a headset. Unfortunately, for some reason, my computer doesn't work with a headset. Don't know why. We do recommend that just to kind of reduce the amount of background noise. If you're not talking, we do recommend muting your microphone just so that we don't have that background noise just coming in to the meeting as well. We do recommend that if you need to take breaks, get food, get something to drink, go ahead and do it. We will be recording this workshop and posting it online. And if the authors of these submitted talks and invited talks are willing, we would also like to be able to post their abstracts and or presentations on the website as well, if that is okay with you. We can address that after the fact. If you do need to take a break, make sure you leave your headset behind. I'm struggled with this because I don't understand how people can not remember not to take their Bluetooth headsets into the bathroom with them. It's a necessary reminder, unfortunately, because hopefully by now one would think that we've gotten past that. I wanted to say thank you to everybody. I don't know about you, but after a year of this, I am burned out with online meetings, online workshops, online conferences, online everything. And I know that it can be quite an effort, especially with this week, as we were explaining, that there's so much going on that you taking the time out of your schedules to actually join us today is greatly appreciated. This is the third in a series of workshops that have been addressing HRI metrology and metrics. Our first one was held in Daegu in 2019, where we were looking at generic test methods and metrics for HRI. Last year, we were focusing mostly on repeatability and reproducibility in HRI studies. And this year, we're looking at novel and emerging metrology for HRI. Trying to identify those new aspects of measurement science for human-robot interaction that could either enable new technologies or more succinctly categorize and capture the state-of-the-art in human-robot interaction. With that, I would like to introduce our first speaker, Andrew Key, who is the Managing Director of Silicon Valley Robotics, which is an industry group supporting the innovation and commercialization of robotic technologies. Andra is also a visiting scholar of the CITRIS, People in Robotics at University of California in Berkeley. And she is also the founder of Women in Robotics, a professional community for basically women in robotics, aptly named, and is also the co-founder of RoboHub, a global robotics research news site. So if you don't actually subscribe to RoboHub, I do recommend subscribing to that. And with that, I'm going to hand over control to Andra so that she can give us